for me. Okay. And I'm starting the recording. And let's see, let me do this. I do know that we have a couple of people that are going to join us, but they're coming in late. So we'll just open the field for whoever's joining us. And also for those who join us on the recording at another time. We really understand that we're sitting in the eternal now together. I'm going to mute everyone. I just realized that we're sitting in the eternal now together. And so regardless of the time space, we are actually truly together. And that's the beauty of intentional fields, is that when we create intentional fields, we have the capacity to bend time and space. And in the vein of bending time and space, I'm also using a magic wand today. I'll show you guys the magic wand in a little bit. But before we go into that, what I'd love for you to do, since this is a transformational meditation, is I want you to just take a moment. You can drop your awareness inward. And just a few conscious breaths and just feel what you're coming with tonight. Perhaps you're aware of some desires that you have. Perhaps you're aware of something that you're really wanting transformation around. Maybe that's for you personally. Maybe that's for someone in your sphere of connection. Maybe it's for something in the outer world. But just taking a moment and feeling into, what is it that I'm bringing? What am I desiring? Perhaps it's something at the level of body that you've been struggling with. Perhaps it's something in a relationship. But just feeling the desire, what is wanting transformation right here, right now, tonight? And then a couple of breaths, just feeling into that. And then let's open our eyes. We'll close them again, but let's open our eyes when you have a sense of that for yourself. Okay, it looks like the people I can see are back. So at the root of our stuck patterns, whatever they are, usually is some aspect of disharmony created by places of fear, places of sort of core fear. And those fear may not be intellectual fear. It's maybe body level fear. It may be sort of gut level fear, systemic fear, maybe neurological fear. So when I'm talking about fear, what I'm talking about here is some place where our system feels like we are unsafe or we will be unsafe. And so we get stuck in certain patterns because our drive here, the beauty of these bodysuits, is that their job is to keep us alive, to keep us here. And so the neurological wiring is wired for our safety and wired to notice everything in the environment that could in any way create threat or harm to that safety. So that's what the bodysuit does, and that's its job, and it does it very well. But the thing is, we have the capacity with our consciousness to create an impact on our bodysuit, to allow for a choosing of orientation, so that if the bodysuit runs on its own, it's going to run those patterns of survival, and that's its job, and that's good and right. But we can, with our capacity for consciousness, we can connect to our divinity. We can connect to our eternal nature. We can connect to the source of all love and life, to that divine embrace that we're going to be connecting with tonight. And we can bring that consciousness in and imprint that on the body temple. When we do that, particularly when we do that with intent to imprint on our neurology, we actually begin to transform the patterns that keep us stuck, that are based upon earlier versions of ourselves that maybe weren't so conscious, running patterns of survival. So it can look all kinds of ways, and I'm just like just giving a little flavor for you to grab onto. And if you're not understanding what I'm saying, that's totally fine. I don't know how much sense I'm making. This is like a giant lecture, really. But I'm just kind of saying, okay, here's this thing. We have the capacity to decide with our consciousness, with how we connect spiritually, we have the capacity to decide what frequencies are running in our body, and therefore whether the biology of survival is going to run the show or whether our eternal nature is going to interface with that and create impact here. So tonight, whatever the intention is that you're coming with for transformation, register that as we connect at the level of soul and we bring that soul energy to the pattern and we do the work neurologically that we're going to do, that you are, by virtue of your consciousness and your connection to your eternal nature, you are transforming that energy. By the way, this is magic. This is how it works here. I mentioned magic just the second time. I'm going to show you my magic wand. So I have a magic wand that I'm going to work with tonight. This is a glass wand. On the top is beeswax, and on the beeswax is tanzanite, this ring of tanzanite, and in the very center, something called lavender, which is a very light amethyst quartz. I'm going to see if I can bring it closer, and if that gets too bright, or that's too bright. Yeah, so as I bring it away, you can see the color tones a little bit more. So what I'm going to be doing with my magic wand is, as we're meditating, I'm going to be moving this in the field. So the energy of the lavender, which is in the center, the energy of the lavender is about balance. This helps us to find balance. And in this case, the balance we're seeking is that our soul energy, this is the energy of tanzanite, that our soul energy imprints so fully on our body temple that we come into balance here in this dimension. We are able to show up in alignment with who we are really meant to be, what we are meant to be doing at any given moment. And so we're creating that space where the soul energy, this is the tanzanite, brings balance to the body temple. So this is my magic wand. And for those of you who every once in a while, I see some people kind of peek, open their eyes, see if I'm still here or what I'm doing. If you peek, you might see me doing something like this. The reason I'm using glass in my magic wand is it allows me to transmit my consciousness into the field through the glass. So I'm also going to be working tonight in this transformational meditation with what I call transmission. Now that's always the case as we do this kind of work, but there are times when I'm very clearly guided that this is a time for transmission. And so tonight, from my state of connection and my holy wholeness and my divine embrace, I will be transmitting that energy to your nervous systems. When we do that, when we entrain our nervous systems in that way, when someone is holding a frequency of balance, it helps us to entrain to that. So that will be part of the intent. So I think I've said enough. I've kind of laid a little bit of groundwork for your mind to grab onto. I invited you to connect with why you're here tonight, what you're desiring transformation around, for those of you who are hopped on a little bit after we began, so you can kind of get a sense of that. And so let's just begin. And we'll begin by allowing our awareness to drop inward. In this co-creative meditation, I am purposefully and intentionally connecting into the field that we're generating together. It's our togetherness that is bringing forth this meditation. Certainly, Spirit gives me little glimpses of what the energies are. I've laid that out. You know what I know now. So now we begin to enter into the magic together. And so taking a few moments to just connect into your body temple. In this dimension, this body vehicle is our place of rest and refuge. And as I referenced in the lecture, its job is to support us here by keeping itself alive so that we can move, that our consciousness can move and co-create in this realm. And so really letting yourself land coming fully into the body, fully into this present moment. Letting the jaw soften just with the simplicity of your intention. As you allow the jaw to soften, even rest the mouth just slightly open. As we let the mouth rest slightly open, as we soften the jaw, we begin to relax the thinking mind. And we begin to put it in service to our conscious connection. As you soften the jaw, with the intention, also allow yourself to relax the tongue all the way to its root. Feeling the teeth and the gums begin to let go of tension and holding. And feeling the deep nourishment that comes just from that softening and opening. Throughout this meditation, as you feel those waves of nourishment, allow yourself to be really greedy. Drink those waves of nourishment in. It's so critical always, but especially in times of personal and collective stress, that we drink deeply from the wells of nourishment that we have access to. And so simply intending that deep receiving, feeling another layer of settling as you rest into, feel yourself resting into the heart, and especially into the back side of the heart. You may even feel yourself allowing whatever surface you're sitting or lying on to hold the back of the heart more completely. As you do, you can feel a sort of melting that starts to go down the back, and the low back begins to melt and soften. If you find yourself at any point in this meditation going into the realm of thought and feeling lost there, just come back to that soft jaw, the back of the heart. If it serves you, joining wherever I'm guiding. And especially return to where the nourishment is. As you rest into the back side of the body, you'll feel that the front of the heart space can begin to open. As the front of the heart opens, you just breathe into that opening, encouraging it. As the heart opens, it can feel, it can register this co-creative field and everyone here with you, whether they're here with you in this specific moment or whether they're here with you in the eternal now moment. Your heart space knows the field that we are creating. As you open into this field, intend for yourself to receive the nourishment we're creating together, to receive the support of the transmissions that will come through, and of your deepening connection with your eternal nature. Beginning to notice in the midline of the body a sense of stillness in the very central core. This very central core of the body, some of you know it as Sushumna, runs from the crown down the whole central channel to the perineum. This is the place where the eternal, our eternal, resides in the body temple. And as you bring your awareness to that, there is a sacred stillness. And there's a reverence. You can feel your own holiness, your own holy wholeness. And a reverence just comes with that. And so just breathing alive that connection. And registering that your holy wholeness doesn't stop in the body temple, that at that pelvic floor, at the perineum, it continues down and plugs you into the belly of our Earth Mother. And you intend to notice and feel, ride your eternal nature down into the earth, feeling the purposeful connection there. As you feel it, you can start to receive more fully the nourishment of your particular earth linkage. And you allow the harmonization between your body and her body. And you drink in the deliciousness of that. Waves of energy that I call pleasure begin to be noticeable, and you allow yourself to receive that pleasure. This is the pleasure of your soul nature mixing with the earth, with her soul nature, in the beauty of this vehicle we call body. And as you keep allowing and nourishing from there, you begin to bring your awareness to the top of the head. And you feel that your eternal nature actually extends up there too. And it connects in at the soul star, which is a chakra about a foot above the top of your head. And beyond that, it connects to the source of all life and to your very specific spiritual home, the place that you plug into, the place you came from, and the place you will return to when you're complete with this body. And you just begin to intend, just like you did with that plug into the earth, plug in, intend to plug in. As you do, you begin to feel that divine embrace. It may initially feel like some heaviness on the top of the head, some tingling through the shoulders as that divine energy starts to awaken more fully. As you breathe here, you feel this mixing, this holy mixing, your eternal nature, plugging into earth, plugging into your divine embrace, and that mixing in the body temple. You begin to open, allowing your cells to be informed by these points of connection, by the remembering and activating of your eternal. You might feel some warmth tingling at the crown. Bringing to mind, just for a moment, whatever you were desiring transformation around, and just intending that these places of nourishment that you have generated begin to feed the place that's desiring transformation. Wherever that lives, in your body temple, in your mind, in your emotions, in your relationships, in the outer world, wherever that focus is tonight, you begin to feed it with this nourishing connection that you've cultivated. And you intend the medicine to support you. The medicine is the nourishing energy, those waves that you might name pleasure. As I'm moving the magic wand through your bodies and energy fields, you may feel waves move, allowing yourself to receive that, these allies of the gemstones. As you feel your particular connection to earth and to source, begin to allow that energy to coalesce in the hindbrain. This is a place at the base of the skull, right in the center of what might be called the occipital ridge, right at the very top of the spine. Also, for those of you who are aware where the well of dreams is, you begin to just intend. It's so simple, just intending, and that nourishment starts to flow right in there. And you'll feel it. You will feel that sensation. Those of you who see things, you may see it. You may simply know. But as that nourishment flows there, very specifically and intentionally allow your consciousness and what you're up to on this earth plane right now begin to imprint on this part of your brain. We're directing our consciousness and our connection to eternal and what we're up to on this planet to imprint the body temple. And you will feel it. There is sensation. You may want or need to move the head a little bit. If that feels good, allow that. Bringing breath. If there's any heaviness, just allow gentle breath to come and help that energy in, help it move there. Again, just receiving into the hindbrain the waves of nourishment and conscious connection that you have cultivated. Beginning to give permission for this part of our autonomic, meaning it runs on its own, this part of our autonomic nervous system, this part of our mind, to be changed by this holy imprinting. Giving permission for patterns that are ready for transformation to be transformed. As you do that, you will feel an opening in your energy body. Perhaps you'll notice it in the third eye. Perhaps you'll feel the widening, the lateralizing of your energy. You might notice that you are much bigger than the boundaries of your skin. Receive the nourishment of that knowing that you are more than this body. And that the holy wholeness actually has dominion here in this body temple. If there are any places of challenge in the body that you're wanting to support, you can bring your hands to the body. Any places where you've had challenge, pain, illness, stress. And let the hands support you in directing the nourishment that you're receiving from your earth connection and your source connection. Let the hands help you direct that energy. Maybe it's a place out in the world where you want to direct the nourishment. Tend yourself first. Feel yourself fully, deeply nourished. And then let the overflowing energy go to relations, outside of your relationship with your body. allowing that jaw to stay soft, allowing that mouth to rest open very slightly. Feeling the nourishment of the rest in your system. And shift your awareness into simply allowing that rest. Letting your body be held more completely by the furniture, by the earth. Letting yourself rest into the divine embrace more completely. Simply intending to continue receiving the nourishment of the connections and the transmissions. Each breath allowing in more of the light codes needed. I'm going to invoke into each of our biofields a mentor of light, a light emanation. This is intelligent light frequency that knows how to intercommunicate with your biofield and your body temple to support you in your transformation and in your unfolding here in this realm. The flame that's being invoked is the flame of Immaculate Warrior. This flame is about removing our blocks to unity, the things that keep us separate from one another, from our own divine expression here. This flame supports the breakdown of emotional armoring that's no longer needed, intellectual armoring that's no longer needed. It allows us to open fully and completely into that divine embrace, into the path that we are walking, that is the most aligned path. The flame is sort of shades of gold and brown, white and gray. And so we call forth the flame of Immaculate Warrior to come here into the body and energy fields of each one of us, to begin ministering to us in support of our holy wholeness. allowing yourself to receive this energy. It will come in with a little bit of a swirl, so you may feel a moment of sort of that spinning that will subside. Just allowing, giving permission in whatever way these energies serve me, let them be of service. Coming back to that rest point and the intention to receive the nourishment. Deep receptivity and allowing. Bringing the hands to the heart or the belly or both, whatever feels right for you in this moment. Feeling yourself giving loving touch and noticing that reverence as you feel the truth of your holy nature, and give yourself permission to be in total forgiveness of any times and any ways you haven't been in that state of reverence for yourself. Making amends with yourself right now for the places of forgetting, for the times that you forgot that you are part of the divine embrace, that you are perfectly and intimately connected to the source of all life. And noticing too that you may be holding places and ways in which, because of that forgetting, you might have behaved in ways that are not totally congruent with the truth of who you are. Giving permission in this moment for total forgiveness, letting it all go, feeling an energy washing you clean, so that there is no part of you holding, anything other than love and reverence for yourself. Certainly we learn, we grow. There's just this generosity of spirit that you feel toward yourself right now. And you receive the nourishment of that. And join me in wishing for you, wishing for yourself. May I be at peace. May I continue to walk in alignment with my holy wholeness, remembering that I am held in the divine embrace of Source and Earth. May I live in this way with ease. And let's wish for one another, all those here with us in this eternal now moment. May you be at peace. May you remember that you are held in the divine embrace, intimately linked with the source of life and the beauty of our Mother Earth. May this remembrance allow you to walk with ease, taking a moment and allowing this blessing and this nourishment to move out through the web of life to all your relations for the benefit of all beings. Coming back to breath, affirming in this now moment, it is so. Whatever you desired transformation around, it is so. It is so. It is so. And then as you feel ready, you can make a transition. As you make your transition, if you feel up to it, if it's right for you, and turn your video back on so we can gaze lovingly at one another. Sometimes it's hard to come back if we're deep in, so that's okay. It's really important for us to connect here in this place of resting in our divinity, resting in the divine embrace. It's critical, especially in times when the outer world is in turmoil, for us to be an anchor for that. And that's what we're doing here in our remembering and in our personal transformation. We're anchoring the possibility. And so you could probably see my eyes gazing. I'm just gazing at each of you, even if I can't see your face. And in that gaze, I'm transmitting my love, my care, my support of your transformation. I'm with you. We're together in this. If anybody would like to speak for a moment, we can take a moment to do that, and then otherwise we'll complete our call. You'll have to unmute yourself if you want to do that. Scotty, it looks like you're trying to unmute. You want me to unmute you? Maybe you're unmuted.
I unmuted. I just wanted to raise my hand to just say thank you to everyone. And also, I just want to share what I asked for, which was balance. So it was so funny that you used the balance. So I got it.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to unmute everyone so we can say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Have a beautiful couple of weeks.
Bye, guys.
Mwah. I'll see you soon.
Bye. Thank you. That was beautiful, Lumenaria.
You're so welcome. My pleasure, my honor, my blessing. Take good care.
Night.
Good night.